So I will call the meeting to order. 7:02.
Yeah.
All right. We do have two voting items. I forgot we have to approve minutes, so I texted with you. Apologize about that. It's still open season, so there's that. But special meeting is to kind of review where we've ended up and rough out where mill rates could end up, given some various scenarios in terms of drawing down from surplus, increasing the collection rate expectation, those sorts of things. So if we could, I will direct everyone to the budget sheets, and those are provided to the Board of Finance, I think on Friday after we finish things up, so it's the weekend. And when I sent them out, I sent them in order of kind of summaries. So you've got a page entitled Mill Rate Calculation, that's the super summary. Then you've got the internal budget sheet, which is entitled Town of Oldline Proposed Budget, Fiscal Year 23-24. And then that rolls up from the two other items that I sent to everybody, which were the operating budgets that have been approved via motions, and then the capital budget as well.
Got it.
So that's the nitty-gritty detail if we need to get there. So taking a look big picture where we get to, what I will do is I'll open it up for discussion and comment on the first two pages. So the budget sheet itself, which is the second sheet, and then that ties into the summary sheet. So if anyone has any comments or changes or revisions to the budget sheet, let's make them now because I'm going to be presenting on Monday. And BJ, you had...
Do you accept additions also? Confessions?
Confession. Not my religion, but I'm happy to entertain that.
For a price.
My confession is I have not gone through all of these budget sheets to compare them against our notes over the past 2 months to determine, in other words, these were compiled by Matt and Tim and maybe you, I don't know, which purported to accurately reflect everything.
Right.
So my question is, has anybody compared these sheets to what we agreed over the past couple of months to confirm just their clerical accuracy?
So for motions,
So I went through and compared just the totals in each department to what I had in my notes and what was in the minutes. There was one, I mean, this is in the big book. There was one discrepancy I noted that was under capital expenditures, public and projects. We voted on 453, and it's 360, and this is the last page of this budget. Of the big,
there was
the big
question about that
one.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like it's right on this sheet here.
Which as long as this sheet is what
This
carries
sheet
through the
looks
mill
right.
rate.
correct.
Right.
This is,
Yeah,
I
this is
just
worksheet.
This sheet is the operative sheet.
Yeah, this sheet looks right. There's some sort of Excel error, something missing in this sheet.
And
But,
which is the line or the number?
But 50.
I don't have,
The
mine,
back of-
it's not, just the back.
back of this.
Yep, the back of that, yep,
In the green column, Public Works, Roads and Projects,
360.
it should be 453.
It should be 453.
The original one.
The 360 is the last line in that.
Yep, got it.
It should be what?
It's on the last page, so page 22,
And 360 should be what number?
453.
And is the 1,093,000 correct?
No, the 1,093,000 is not right, but it's correct on the big.
Yeah, so
Summary.
Matt went through and checked all of the minutes, just like you did.
Yeah.
So that's why this is correct, and then...
Right.
Yeah, so
Got
the nitty-gritty detail
For cap.
didn't pick it up, but
Yeah.
as long as it's correct here.
Okay.
So what should the 193 be?
The 193 should be 1,186,758,
Which is correct on this
which
big
is
sheet.
correct on the big sheet.
Well, thank you for going through that.
That's what I had on my notes.
That's the only discrepancy I noted.
Which is amazing.
Considering they were correct all the way down to that point.
I didn't go
Who
look.
got tired.
I just did.
Yeah. I looked at only the things that I was working on, and those were correct. I did not go through each.
So Matt and Tim and I on Friday went through the individual
I believe you.
motions and things.
Yep.
So that's good that and we were working off this final sheet.
Okay.
School number's also wrong on the page 22 of the long form.
Of the nitty-gritty detail?
49.
Wait, I'm sorry, which, Tim?
On page 22
Two.
on the,
Exactly.
Debt service.
Oh, yes.
What's the number, Tim?
well, on the long.
Okay,
ledger
on
paper,
here.
It's 28,249, 28 million, it's 27,9 on this one.
28,
So that-
Yeah, so that just didn't get updated.
Okay.
I'm,
Oh, I see.
I'm not identifying the number. Tell me what number we're talking about.
28.9, he said.
Back page,
Yep,
BJ?
yep.
So the second to last line item is Regional School District 18.
27,521, is that wrong?
Yeah, that's last year's number.
I see, and it should be,
Yeah, send out.
28,249,222.
Right. So you see it in the 22-23 budget, and it just got carried over.
Yeah.
And that was a ghost from just kind of a placeholder from when Nicole was putting the whole thing together.
right, but is the 40,160 correct?
No.
No,
Those two changes.
40 million,
affect the 40 million.
972,
40,972,152,
correct.
Thank you.
which again
Matches it.
matches this big sheet.
Yep. Okay. So, Kim, thank you for that diligence, triple, quadruple checking, awesome, given circumstances. So, school,
When you're ready, I'll ask about the beach association.
yeah, ready.
So, Tim, on Saturday, you called me to inquire about the allocation of the 71.7 to the beach associations, and I prepared an annotation to Nicole's spreadsheet and sent it to you. What did you do with that information?
I'm not laughing at you, I'm just thinking about all the steps that have been involved in this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And I ask that because the allocation in the budget is not the one I gave you, nor the one Nicole had presented. So my question is, where did this allocation come from?
it looks like it's a duplicate of, and, you know, the columns were out of line, so I think we just need the proper allocation as to which week is what. The totals are the same no matter what.
Well,
Now, BJ, did you-
700 is correct.
But each, yes,
Right, so BJ, again, going to the nitty-gritty detail, let's look at that first, and then make sure this comports with your calculations. So that is
That's
On page 20.
20?
Bottom
Well.
of 20.
yep.
So, BJ, are the numbers in the
19.
green column on 20 agree with your new calculation?
22.5 and 475 are the correct then.
No, I think these are the same as on the summary sheet.
They are,
They are.
yeah.
And those are incorrect. Let me pass around the email that I sent to Tim.
Thank you.
So BJ, just to be clear, that 71.7 number is correct?
That's correct. The total.
The allocation is different.
Right.
There's a formula that spreads that 71.7 pursuant to a methodology
Of course.
that Nicole followed and I tinkered with, and this doesn't follow that methodology. So my question is, where did this come from?
It was
Grant.
it was on the sheet under column 16, so we figured it should be moved, but if it's
My-
wrong with the...
It's not a question of what column it's under, it's a question of what
9,
number
8,
should.
19.
It may not, So it may well have been that Nicole had a placeholder for it, and then subsequent to your conversation with her, it just didn't make it into
Yeah,
the actual calculation.
Well,
Right.
If this is the right calculation.
the sheet that I just circulated, the whole sheet with my annotations in longhand.
Yeah,
Yep.
She varied the methodology a little bit in a manner I thought was incorrect, and so I changed it. But neither her numbers nor my numbers are these numbers.
I see that.
but what are the right numbers? I mean,
Right here.
They're on here, the bottom line of this worksheet.
So-
okay,
Okay,
so
so
all
we'll
we need to
correct
do is just enter these
Right.
yellowed numbers.
In my view, that's correct.
Yeah,
Okay,
I tend to agree with that. Why
We
not?
don't have to vote on that. I mean, again, we voted on the total, but
No,
it's
there's-
important
No.
for this to be the right numbers, so,
And
No, no,
delegate,
it's
yeah, it's
important to
important for the allocation.
Yeah, of course.
delegate to Nicole and me,
Right.
frankly,
Yep.
to do the allocation, and that's what I did for Tim on Saturday, so I was surprised that it wasn't reflected in the numbers.
I'm happy that you caught it, because we'd have a lot of egg on our face if someone from the beaches
yeah.
did
So-
the
so-
formula and it was wrong.
Again, we sent out the numbers on Friday, so Saturday, so we'll make these changes now, and we're good.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
These have to be updated.
right.
Can someone just forward me that email? I never saw it, so.
Yeah, so,
was
so,
Matt.
Thank you.
Matt, I'll scan this in color to you, and you can make
I've got
those.
the email to Tim, I can forward it to Matt.
Perfect.
Tim, Matt, let me get my
Yep.
pen, and tell me your email address.
It's mward at oldlime-ct.gov.
Okay, mward@oldlime-ct.gov.
Yeah.
Okay,
Find another one, too.
This isn't the same order as this.
Yeah, so, no,
Oh, I see.
that was a test, Tim, just,
Oak Ridge,
you noticed.
yeah, this is not the,
they're not in the order that they're,
hey, Matt,
yes.
Yep.
just a warning, you're gonna see this in, columnar form as opposed to rows. So just be very careful when you're looking, for example, Oak Ridge is $3,100, but it's the second to last, or third to last number, and it's the last number on our sheet. So if,
Okay.
Send,
it's not just cut and paste, that's all.
send it to BJ for,
Yeah,
have
Yeah,
BJ.
no problem.
yep.
Okay.
And so, yeah, the bottom line number is fine, the allocation is what all the beach associations are gonna be looking for, so that's a good catch. So that is.
So I will put that with it.
11, 3.
Today is,
Good? All right, that does not change the bottom line at all, nor do revisions to the detail. So that gets us to a preview of what mill rates could potentially be under different scenarios.
I want to reinforce, we did increase the collection rate by a quarter.
We did.
percent.
Yep.
Yep, all right.
Yep.
So the green column is the bottom line for folks. If we did nothing, rounded, it would be 23.9, so an increase of 1.7%. If we draw from surplus, 400 grand, no rounding, it's a slight increase, and obviously 800,000 would be a decrease. So if we did 800,000, the big sheet shows 800,000. Doesn't have to show 800,000, but it does right now, and it shows the rounded figure of 23.4, so slightly above the 23.36.
Mm-hmm.
So you're down 10 basis points on the mill rate, all else being equal. If we drew down 800 grand and we've approved the 98.5% for collection rate.
And our surplus would go down.
Surplus number, like,
It's
how
on the
much
bottom.
total?
It's on the bottom here, Matt.
Back.
You'd want to be,
And again,
Very
that's a little
bottom.
wonky, right? Because
It's off because of these other disbursements from surplus,
Well,
or are those?
no, if you take a look, so the actual starting place of 9.78 million,
Mm-hmm,
that's a good number.
okay.
But then the question is, what are we gonna do through this year? Don't know.
Are we
right?
really gonna need the 600,000 that we budgeted?
Typically, we have not, because our collection rate has been 99.1% plus. So historically, what's happened is we've actually added to the surplus. When you look at the history of the surplus, it continues to kind of march up, and we haven't been overly aggressive on the use of surplus.
No.
So, but if we hit our budget and we only collect 98.2%, or 0.25%, and we use 600,000 of the surplus, then at June 30th, it's projected that we have $9.2 million in the kitty.
But in the audit, I remember seeing in the audit, there was an $11 million surplus number in the early
There's been a
pages.
lot of reference to
So
it.
I wonder, that one would think that that would either be the end of 22 or the beginning of 23.
Now, some of that is encumbered. This is
okay.
just the general fund, right?
Okay,
yeah,
got
This
it,
is the unencumbered.
got it.
We've got funds that are kind of squirreling away stuff as well. So the overall balances are,
That makes
More
sense,
like 12 or 13.
yeah,
but not available.
no, because they're encumbered
Fire
for
Right, of
fire
course.
trucks and
Right,
yeah,
exactly.
town hall
So
repairs and.
when you hear talk or conversations and people refer to an 11 or 12 million dollar surplus, correct, but not available funds
Yeah.
because they're encumbered.
I mean, you.
So, and I understand that.
It's
Right,
thing.
but
But in terms of surplus, I think, David, this is correct, that we haven't pledged it to somebody. If you've got $1 and promised it to somebody, you
Right.
shouldn't include it in surplus.
I agree
Yeah.
with that, but I just wish more people understood that, so it's not like you're being greedy and accumulating.
Well, I would
all
just
the
describe it as the difference between cash and surplus. We might have $11 million in
That's
cash.
Right,
Yeah.
but the
Of which
the
3 million
available
is
surplus.
earmarked for something.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
We've been squirreling it away for something. But this is the number that, if we were to issue bonds and have to borrow, the unencumbered, general fund amount is what folks use to figure out that percentage. Okay, so it's 9 million divided by 36, it's 25%. So this is the figure that they use, it's not the overall figure.
So if we left the 800,000 in and only took half of that, we'd have roughly 8.8 mil in surplus.
Right.
Yes,
Okay,
yep.
So the question is, how do we get to the number? What's the principle, the conceptual principle we want to use? And I guess one question is, how much surplus do we need, right? If we take 800 and reduce it to from 9.2 to 8.4, is that perfectly safe?
Yeah.
go ahead.
I'm reading from the audit. At the end of the fiscal year, the unassigned fund balance for the general fund was $11,504,723, or 30.3% of expenditures and transfers out. So that to me should be the beginning. Well, I don't know, there could be encumbrances, but I handed out this sheet
Yeah,
which details, about 247,000 that came out of the general fund for appropriation in 22. Now, this column is 23. So
this stuff is already out of that number, Tim, right? This sheet that you handed out, those monies,
should be before the surplus.
they were already
they're
taken
already
out.
taken out
They're
of the
already taken out.
9.798.
Well, no, they should be taken out of that number as of June 30th, that you're
Well,
quoting from a
I mean,
recent audit.
I made this stuff for fiscal 22.
Okay, so
Which ended June 30th last year.
I mean, after all this was taken care of, it should be
There's 11 million still there, right.
less
So,
the
I
encumbered.
don't know where the 9 million is coming from, because that should be the starting balance in fiscal
Do you know, Dave, where the
23.
9 million came from?
I don't. I'm simply using what Nicole had put together last year, and the figure that she started with is for fiscal year 22-23 request is the beginning balance, which is 9.798351.
This thing is telling a different I can call Ron Nozick and try to have him answer the question.
That would
Yeah.
bring it down to that.
No matter what we do, we need to be consistent or be very clear if we're going to add another $2 million where people are like, hey, you got an extra $2 million.
Yeah, where'd that come from?
So when you look at the overall fund balance, Tim, which is way in the back in like page 45 or something like that, which includes encumbered funds. What page?
I think there's another reference to page 39 maybe?
It's a landscape
On page 39 in the audit, it has general fund, unassigned, 11,504,000. I mean, there are, in the audit, there are 3 different pages which cite that number.
But if I may, let me just take a quick look. So in the notes,
But that should be FYE, not beginning. If we only took out $250,000 with this stuff, it wouldn't rock the boat.
But Tim, this is already out of that number.
Should be.
Yeah.
Right. Because it was spent in that fiscal year
Yes.
through Board of Finance and town meeting allocations.
Yeah, now, on this thing, I did not include the non-bolded stuff which came out of the revenue or project funds, which are not in the general fund, so there are a number of other items.
yeah, so
Oh, I see what you did. The 9,198,000 is the ending surplus budget basis for this year based on her original budget.
Which is what was in here.
So
Yeah.
That's not accurate.
That's where the number came from.
Right, exactly.
And then the
That's
question
not-
is, where did we get $2 million?
That's not the actual end of,
No, I understand that.
Not
It
round-
meant that our budget was $2 million.
Right.
Didn't happen.
Projects, not that
Not
much,
$2 million.
that would
not 2 million.
should be sitting in allocated funds.
Right.
Like
And we went from the worksheet that was provided.
Ferry Road sidewalk,
Which is
to Hill
the
Bridge.
end of
it's like Groundhog Day because we do this every year.
Not even-
No, I understand what you're saying.
Fire-
Surplus, they're not looking to reconcile to net worth thing, and they don't seem to transfer from one year to the
Of course
next.
not, but that's what we were given, and that's why he used it as the beginning.
Right.
But it may not be correct, right? And all I've heard about is,
Well,
we've been saving for a project.
maybe we should have that 11,500,000 be the starting balance of 23, that left column, but I can call Nozick and get
I
guidance.
think this warrants a phone call.
You wanna get it right.
There is.
I agree.
And just because it was on here doesn't mean it was correct.
If you look at page 5, I think it's a...
Well, I'm looking at the page that you just cited, Tim, and it's got, just so folks know, it's got the general fund as unassigned balance of $11.5 million, and then you've got capital outlay that's assigned at $1.4 million
Okay.
in addition. And then you've got a miscellaneous fund, which is like social workers fund. I don't know what that is, but there's like dog fund, and that's $125,000. And then non-major governmental funds of $2.6 million. The overall cash that the town has according to this audit at June 30, 2022, is $15.6 million.
We also have two different dates. The date that is in the audit is the June 30, 2023 date.
Yeah.
22.
I'm sorry.
22.
22 date. Nicole's number, this estimated number, is at the end of 23.
No, the
This is the
9.685,
beginning.
You got beginning and ending.
the 9.685 million, DJ?
Where do you see the 9.6?
9.78.
In this column, I saw 998.
We're on the yellow sheet.
So that would be the apple.
No, if you go
Do you have the
over
yellow sheet?
two more columns. I'm sorry, yeah.
And not the white sheet.
This is
Start with
last year's.
And then down bottom right, DJ.
So 22-23 would be
This would
the
be,
balance at June 30, 22, plus activities. You see the,
Yeah, no, I think that, the apples to apples is the 9,798,000 compared to the 11 million.
right,
Yes, I agree.
yes,
yeah.
especially after what he just,
But Tim, it's a simple question. Again, this is a small piece of this, but we should get it right.
you have to before.
So if we, right, where I can dance around it.
No,
Yeah, but
no.
So to Ron, I'm happy to call him tomorrow too.
Well, we
Just say,
Let's get on the phone together with them.
sure, yeah. What is the difference between page 39 of the audit and this 9.685? That's it.
and the
So-
9798,
No, the starting balance, Andy.
You okay?
am I in the right half of the
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, the 97,
97? This was last year's budget.
Right,
This is not the number that should be used, because that's not, the audited number is what should be used.
right,
This number should not be carried forward.
right. So this was probably also a
This is just,
placeholder.
correct. That was
right,
just
that was what
pushing
it
things
was at
forward on the
before the
sheet.
you
audit.
did the math,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
where it landed. But after the audit, it became
Yeah.
the number
I mean,
that's in.
the audited numbers need to go in both for,
Well, the starting place, definitely. The 978 should be,
well,
It's,
But Andy, unlike a business statement where you can
Right.
reconcile net
Right.
worth from one year to the next, these municipal.
yeah, that's true. I mean,
link
it
properly.
is saying approved
Budget.
budget.
It's
It's
not
not
it's
actual.
not the actual value.
But shouldn't the surplus be the actual, I guess you
Well,
can't
it
mix.
moves.
the starting point should be the actual.
The starting point at the beginning of this fiscal year is the audited number.
It should be.
Sure.
So we
And
call,
then our projected
Right.
starting point for next
Yeah,
year.
it should be.
exactly,
Described as projected or estimated.
Right.
We
No.
don't know as we sit here today,
Yeah.
what it's going to be, right, correct,
July 1st.
got it,
Ending number for the actual 21 should
Right.
be what appears in the audit.
right?
Right.
But it's not,
I don't know.
right, we don't know.
Well, but our card that Steve will be talking to Monday is gonna show the approved budget for this current year. It's not gonna have 21, 22 on it,
No,
which this sheet
Oh,
does.
well,
Not,
right here you have actual 21.
no, but we're gonna be,
This is for the town meeting.
Right.
It's going to go from actual 21 to actual 22.
right, exactly.
have actual 21, 22,
Looking at the
budget 22, 23.
So we need the audited amount.
So the only place,
The only real verifiable number is the audit number, which should be the last number for the actual 22 down here.
Can you verify any of these
Yeah, we'll have
numbers
to call
with the
Ron.
treasurer? Would the treasurer be able to verify any of these numbers?
no.
Well,
So
they've got
we're gonna have one more
balance
column that's
the
actual
Right.
for 21, 22.
Right,
That needs to
that
go.
was,
Come and present to us.
that was June,
No, because it was so late.
based on the.
No, I agree.
Right.
I think,
So-
no, I'm mixing it up.
So the actual for 21, 22 should be the number that's in the audit.
Right,
Right.
Yeah.
So when
correct.
we have
Correct.
21, 22,
Correct.
right, number should be the exactly in the audit. The other two might be math-based.
Well,
right, but
One should
have to be
There's
accurate.
gonna be a third column, that's
Because,
everything of
You know,
actual.
the collections
Right.
This was budgeted, the actual collection.
We know the collection.
Right,
The
but
actual
when we're talking about those three numbers for the surplus,
It doesn't tie in mathematically because things change so much.
Right.
That are not within.
we're not gonna have actuals for this current year.
That's right.
No,
that
no,
number-
that's still the budget.
That's the second, that's the second column.
This is-
Number, right,
That's the
This
second
is the
column.
right.
Right.
That'll be the
The
second
first column is all actuals, because
Right.
that's 21, 22, it already happened, we got the.
So we
allowance.
need the action.
right, so that's where that number from the audit should pull in.
Right.
It should
Right.
be dropped in
Just
there.
in this column.
Just in
There,
yeah.
right.
And then the budget,
that'll get carried.
Work-
and then it,
Calculates with that.
Calculates from-
And then after the next year's budget, that number will change based on the action.
Yeah. The bottom one on the first column should equal the top one on the second column.
Correct.
Right.
22 and 23.
We'll
All right, Tim,
call
I-
to the,
Let's call him tomorrow.
So-
that's my copy too.
You know, if you're looking at
do you,
the yellow sheet, the middle column,
will
the
be,
approved budget for last year,
Right.
the surplus was 10,000,005
right,
Estimated,
estimated, but
Right.
still, that makes the 11,500
feasible.
makes sense.
make more
Of course it
sense,
does, yeah.
because that number is gonna move over.
And why should this drop to,
And
yeah,
our collections were 90.
otherwise,
So,
yeah, otherwise we're like, where did $1 million go?
So that's good news.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it
So maybe
is.
that makes a decision.
Thank you all for working as a team on that.
So,
Right, and we didn't use the 600,000, so that you add that back in because we had higher collections, right?
yeah, that was Tim's point last week, like, we provided for 600,000.
But we didn't use it.
Oh, we didn't actually have to
ended
use
up
it because
not
the
using
collections
it.
were greater, so we
Right.
didn't.
We didn't need to.
You're talking about this current year or last? year?
Last year.
Last year.
Actual.
Last year, actual, we budgeted 400,000.
Actual.
Talking about 21, 22, it's gonna end up being, that'll be the actual column here.
Right.
But we only budgeted 400,000.
for this year, yeah.
This year's 6. Last year that ended June was 4. This column's gonna move over.
Yeah, because
And
we
and
had
we
approved, we've been approving use
Yeah.
of surplus.
6 to 8,
Yeah,
4 to 6, 8,
Yes,
And so
100,000.
it doesn't show up in the actuals because we didn't need it.
We didn't
We
use it.
did draw from surplus for a couple of projects, is what happened. That 207 or whatever it is, right? You see?
Yes, the 206, which is noted here where
Right,
those were
here's-
through town meeting and Board of Finance allocations.
Right,
Right.
That's the 206,700.
all right.
Yeah.
So that has to be assigned based on the
So-
account.
Worst case scenario is we have $9.2 million in the kitty, which we don't. We have more,
Yep,
pretty sure.
yeah, yep.
So tonight, and again, we don't have to decide any of this stuff until the town meeting, but we do have to agree.
You have to
You
make
have
a
to have
vote,
it.
you have to tell the
Presented.
town on Monday
Yeah.
Well,
whether,
we've agreed.
Yeah. So I'm happy to show different scenarios if people would like, or we can just say this is, if this were to happen, this is what it would look like.
What, I know it's not on here, but what if we did the same $600,000 we did this year? That would essentially end up being flat.
Of course,
Because
Yeah.
we have the
Yep.
400,000 and the
Instead of
800,000
reducing it.
example.
yep,
We say we're gonna do the
In
same
the
thing
middle.
as last year and 600. It's gonna,
I think it's a way for us to say we're using the surplus as well, because I think we've been criticized, but we're not being reckless about it because our surplus has been increased.
Well, the other point is
I
that,
think we could probably put $1 million and not touch it, but,
No, no.
Could be the year that we
of course
would.
not. But
something.
I think it shows that we've thought it through.
Yeah,
as we come up with the senior center, depending on grants and stuff, that we could maybe just write a check instead of going through a lot of.
Finance.
Right,
absolutely right.
Yep.
like Lime.
So consensus, Andy had suggested what's shown is 800, which is a slight reduction. We could remain flat at 600,000-ish.
It's close to flat, right?
So,
That should,
Is Andy going to make
Yeah.
the
it's
motion?
gonna be a slight decrease.
that makes sense to me.
I mean, if there's anybody at the meeting Monday night besides us,
Yeah,
and there's any kind of feedback, we could always adjust that before
What?
the
Yeah.
budget is done in May.
Oh, true.
I mean, it's not, we're not voting on setting the mill rate, we're voting on what David's gonna present Monday night, basically, based on everything
I don't
we've
even need a
approved all
vote,
along.
I mean, I just want
No,
consensus. If someone
I mean-
feels
Right.
angry about 600 and wants to go to 1 million or 200,000,
Yep.
you know,
I like Tim's idea, save the money pay as much
For
cash for the
projects.
senior center,
And
As we can.
and
forget
other
the-
things.
yeah.
and other things
Yeah.
that may come down the
I
road.
would just say on Monday that the Board of Finance has discussed it, and we're currently thinking about using 600 from the surplus this year. Not written in stone, but that's our thinking.
Which
that's
keeps
a
the
good
mill rate
flexibility,
flat.
yeah.
No increase, and I think it shows that we've done significant contributions to projects and funding, but not recklessly.
Yeah.
We've done well, if you read the New London Day and all the budgets
oh,
that
boy.
are coming in out there, and I haven't seen one that decreased.
Well, do you think?
I haven't seen one that's even
Yeah.
maintained level.
Because we all thought that we were spending through the roof this year, and that, you know, it was gonna go out. Now, we did
We
increase
increased
the
the
collection
collection.
rate, and that was a few hundred thousand.
That's right.
And it,
But a few 100,000, it's not
But
that.
there were a couple of several hundred thousand good news things. I forget what else they were.
well, also, I think.
Well, local
it-
revenue's up, yeah,
I'll tell you on Monday.
343,000, right.
With the increase of 2.91% with Region District 18, my first reaction was, well, it's going up, but we,
But we did get more education funds this year,
Yes.
our revenues.
yeah, so there's
revenues
other,
are up.
Yeah.
other offsets, and that's a great explanation, revenues are up, which they are.
Yeah. So
Also,
I'll
interest
tease
is
it
up
all
by
out.
$200,000 to $770,000. We projected 30, and I think,
We were at 90.
okay, 93, we're way, that's a lot,
Yeah.
if you add it all up.
Yeah.
But you look at, you know, boards and commissions are, again, it's small numbers, but it's down 28,000.
Yep.
Public safety's down 28,000. Capital project funds is down 126,000.
Those all calculations.
Income, local revenue's up 343,000. Intergovernmental revenue's up 479,000.
What I do want to know is how did total capital come within $167 of last year's total capital on a budget basis?
There's an audit, yes.
Right, total
There's an audit coming.
Take a look at the bottom of the turnover page. Total capital.
17 grand?
Huh?
What are you looking at?
Right-hand-
Million went right here. Right here. 160.
Because we added the 93,000 for the sidewalk. Otherwise it would have been down, no.
We did fund some things.
Isn't it?
Well, I'm just looking at the numbers, it
Yeah,
seems
well,
right, 282
The
down.
senior center
for-
architect isn't in this year's numbers. Senior center architect.
You know, I'm not looking at the absolute numbers. I'm looking at the correlation between
Yeah.
the 22-23 budget and the 23-24
Yeah, within
request.
nine-
It's within $167
Yeah.
on a base of $1.2 million.
BJ,
Coincidence.
because you're so good.
Yeah,
That's right. Very sharp pencil.
right. No, but there's only 4 totals to look at, and it's pure coincidence or serendipity?
Yeah, look at the rest of
That
it.
must be.
You should also take into consideration that ARPA funding has paid for some of the bigger things.
True.
Yeah.
There's some of the
That's-
departments walking.
Yeah.
So,
Some of the requests that would have come to the town went there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, yeah.
Yep. Well, that's what it was meant to do, to help towns, and it is.
Just not throws the bed like $11.5 million. All right, so consensus is we'll revise to 600 grand, does that feel good?
Yeah, and you'll
For
confirm.
presentation purposes for
Right,
Monday.
this is not passing it, but
We can redo that thing. We can leave the numbers on here, so we can just plug in 600 to see where it comes out.
Yeah, so I've got this because we need to revise
well, this, you've got
Yeah, we
a
need
few
to
things that need
revise,
to be revised.
BJ's numbers, and then that, and then I think
And Kim
that,
had a change.
No, that
No,
was
no, no.
just on the Excel.
Just on the detail.
Yeah, it's right on here.
The cover page numbers.
No.
Okay.
Just if somebody looks at them. They ask their treasurer.
Yeah.
All good?
Yeah.
So if
So-
we don't vote on the surplus now, when would we vote on it? Because we don't technically meet, we could have another meeting.
Surplus?
Well, let's vote on it now. Just-
I mean.
I think we should vote on it.
We're gonna put toward the budget.
Oh,
I'm comfortable doing that now.
Because if we don't,
well, if you recommend it now, you could see how the reaction is.
It's part of the budget. We don't necessarily have to vote on it because the town is going to vote. We don't really have to vote on.
Well, but I mean,
anything.
to Andy's point, we should
usually
vote on
do.
what you're presenting to
we'll
the town.
redo it.
Yeah.
You have to present the town's mill rate.
Right.
That should come with the Board of.
We're not voting on that part.
Blessing.
Yes.
Just so we can say with certainty.
So I will,
I mean, in the past, we voted on how much
I
money
think
we're
you're
gonna
right.
take out of surplus.
yeah.
Right.
And we have the meeting Monday night, but that's a town hearing. And then our next meeting follows the actual budget vote in May.
Now is the time to do it.
So I'd make a motion that we use $600,000 from surplus toward the 2023-24 budget.
I'll second.
Further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Great. Okay.
Tim, thank you for this worksheet with all the other projects that were
I
funded.
guess that falls under.
I was happy to see that. I wondered
Maybe.
what they were.
A special meeting?
It's gonna-
It's a good, I don't remember all those things
I
before,
know.
so.
Yeah, we couldn't find one of them for a while. We finally found it.
All right, other budget issues. Other budget issues. Going once. Going twice. Okay. Minutes of March 28th and April 4th. Many have admitted that they have not reviewed them quite yet, so I will
Confess.
What'd you say? Confess? That's down the street, I heard.
March 28th, we'll start with, give them a few minutes to
Thank you.
take a peek at
I'm not going to compare all the numbers.
which certificates.
I did, I was looking through to match some numbers up, and I was like, these are the same. I was like, these are the same.
Except they did change, like the tree in the gap.
Yep.
Thank you.
Oh, I was,
You were not there.
A couple.
You don't have to vote on that. Can I stand up?
And we can,
Oh.
I have.
No, you,
Do I have to vote?
Chair?
Oh, gosh.
So just in terms of numbers, when Tim and Matt and I were going through, we looked at these minutes as well. So I think the numbers are good. There may be some language issues.
Yeah, like the open space got adjusted.
Yeah. No, when you were,
Right.
it's just discussions and then
Exactly. That's right.
I batted cleanup the notes.
I know, thank you very much. We had to leave you something. We need some money for this merger.
Well, is that properly documented for folks? Because that's kind of the first time folks are going to hear about in detail that number.
You have the worksheets on that, right?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of March 28th.
Is there a second?
Second.
Revisions, people need a little bit more time.
I just had one tiny little grammar thing. On the
Yep.
first page, the bottom paragraph, middle of it says, Representative Carney submitted a request for a $5 million request. I would just strike a request, I would strike request for A and just say he submitted a $5 million request. You see that?
Yep, I do, right here. It is.
Got it.
Right here. Take out the stuff.
Take that out.
Further discussion or proposed revisions? Hearing none. We'll move to a vote. All those in favor as revised, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, we'll approve those minutes. That's March 28th. April 4th.
More of the same.
Yep. I missed it.
The only thing I'm making sure, and it is in here, is the vote on public safety that Kim had an objection, or rather did not vote for. So that is in here.
I'm looking at the April 4 minutes, the police budget on page 2, and it says 2 new Block 45 firearms for $7,500. Is 2 correct? They're not 3,700 each.
It's 10.
Yeah.
10.
It's 10.
So that number should be 10, not 2?
And on the capital worksheet, it also said 2 here.
It's something about like, I don't remember what they did, but it's the same thing every year.
Yes,
Yeah.
10 pistols.
Okay.
You see that?
Yep.
I don't know how they got it.
Yeah, here it is.
Okay, got it. Wow.
Typo.
Okay.
That'd be the same on the earlier minutes on page.
Yeah.
Now, I do note that it's an important number. On page 4 at the bottom, I don't have collection rate. It says it was decided.
Got it. Sure.
So I don't know that we had a motion. I can't remember what we've done in the past for collection rate, but it seems to me that it would be probably motion worthy, just to memorialize it. Under other budget issues, maybe?
I'm fine with that. I don't recall that we didn't vote on it. Do you think we didn't vote on it?
The minutes don't say that we voted.
I see that.
Yeah.
I thought that
She would have had it, I don't mean, Michelle would have had
Yeah,
it.
Michelle would have noted if we voted.
Yeah,
on it.
so
Yeah,
let's vote on it.
I think it was collectively.
Yeah, so I'll entertain a motion under other budget issues, Michelle. Entertain a motion to approve a proposed collection rate of 98.5% for the 23-24 fiscal year.
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any?
That's to go in tonight's minutes.
Yeah.
Yes. We're not revising, I hope.
Yeah, no.
Right.
I don't want to read this again.
Further discussion?
Right.
There's no motion on the table for these minutes, so we're just move to a vote. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say nay. Motion carries. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of April 4th.
Motion to approve the minutes from April 4th.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
We've corrected that number of blocks from 2 to 10.
Yep.
Any further corrections or comments? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor of approving the minutes of April 4th as revised, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Okay, great. Adjourn meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed, say nay.
Correction.
Great.